The most important Roloff family photo of the entire year of 2025 was not from a TLC episode, it was not from a magazine spread, it was not from a public event. It was a short Instagram video posted on December 26th, the day after Christmas, by Isabelle Roloff. In the video, 5 men sat together. They were all wearing matching blue and black striped Christmas sweaters. They were all smiling. 2 of them were sitting on a couch, the twins Zach and Jeremy Roloff. One of them was their father, Matt, sitting between them. Behind the couch stood their younger brother, Jacob, and their stepfather, Amy's husband, Chris Merrick. 5 men in matching sweaters, smiling for the camera on Christmas Day in Oregon. Isabel captioned the video, "Yes, we got them in matching sweaters." She added, "They loved it or hated it, I cannot tell." That was it. That was the whole post. Just a short, funny family video of men in coordinated holiday sweaters. And yet, when that video hit Instagram, it was one of the most significant Roloff family moments of the entire post-show era. Because what that video showed, in just a few seconds, was something that fans had been told was no longer possible. The Roloff family, after years of feuding, after the farm sale battles, after Zach's public declarations that his relationship with Matt was, in his words, not existent, was together again. For Christmas, smiling, in matching sweaters. Tonight on LPBW Update, we are walking through every detail of the Roloff Christmas 2025 reunion. Who was there? Who organized it? What it means? Why it happened? And what it tells us about where this family is headed in 2026 and beyond. Because if the August 9th photo at Lila's sporting event was the first hint of healing, the December 26th Christmas reunion was the confirmation. The Roloff family is doing something none of us expected to see. They are coming back together. Let us set the scene. To understand why this Christmas reunion was so significant, you have to remember where the Roloff family was just months earlier. The year 2025 had been one of the most turbulent in the family's history. In April, Matt Roloff put Roloff Farms back on the market for the 3rd time, asking $2,895,000. In May, on his Raising Heights podcast, Zach Roloff gave fans one of the most direct updates yet on his relationship with his father. He said in his own words, "Oh, it is not great. It is not, like, existent, I guess." That sentence, said into a microphone for a podcast that thousands of fans listened to, was as clear as it gets. Zach was not playing diplomat. He was not softening the truth for the show. He was telling the world that the relationship between him and his father had effectively ceased to exist. In June, Tori Roloff confirmed it on the same podcast. "There is no relationship there," she said, but she added that the siblings had kind of come around, which she described as nice. The framing was clear. Matt was estranged. The brothers were reconnecting with each other, but not with Matt. Then July came, and on July 22nd, Matt Roloff posted his Instagram announcement ending his 8-year engagement to Caryn Chandler. The pivot point. The moment when, in retrospect, everything started to change. The post-engagement months were a series of small but escalating signs. In early August, Matt began posting more frequently with family members. On August 9th, the famous photo with Amy, Chris, and granddaughter Lila at her sporting event. Matt smiling, Amy smiling, Chris smiling, Lila at the center of the frame. The first real evidence that things were shifting. In late August, Tori Roloff announced her return to teaching at Firm Foundation Christian School in Battle Ground, Washington, signaling that she and Zach were settling into a new chapter that did not involve the Roloff family drama. In October, the 2025 pumpkin season at Roloff Farms went forward without Caryn for the first time in years, and Amy participated alongside Matt in a way she had not in previous seasons. The puzzle pieces were moving. The picture was changing, the fan base was watching, but nobody had seen, yet, the moment that would confirm the family was truly healing. Then came Thanksgiving 2025. Matt Roloff hosted a Thanksgiving dinner in Oregon. The guest list was significant. Amy was there, Tori was there, other family members were there. Notably, Zach was not. Zach had taken his 8-year-old son Jackson to a soccer tournament abroad. The absence was not a snub. It was a parenting commitment. Zach was prioritizing his son's life, which is exactly what a good father does. But the timing was still meaningful. Matt and Amy were together at Thanksgiving. Tori was there as Zach's wife and as the mother of their 3 children. Molly Roloff, the only Roloff daughter, was also absent because she lives out of state with her husband, Joel Silvius. But the gathering that did happen was warm. Matt posted on Instagram afterwards saying he had a lot to be thankful for, that he was counting his many blessings, and that he wanted to thank all his daughters-in-law for making it such a special Thanksgiving. The post was unmistakable in its tone. Matt was happy. The family was healing. The Thanksgiving dinner, with all its limitations, was a step in the right direction. But Thanksgiving was just the warm-up. The main event was Christmas. And Christmas 2025 was, by every account, the moment when the Roloff family did something they had not been able to do in years. They got everyone together at the same time. Matt was there, Amy was there, Chris Merrick was there, Zach and Tori were there with their 3 children, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah. Jeremy and Audrey were there with their 4 children, Ember, Bodie, Radley, and little Mirabella. Jacob and Isabel were there with their son Mateo. The only absences were Molly and Joel, who likely had their own separate Christmas in Spokane. But everyone else was present. The entire Roloff family, including all 3 sons that had been at the center of the farm dispute, gathered on the property in Oregon, exchanged gifts, ate food, and spent the holiday together. The fact that this happened at all was remarkable. The fact that Isabel had thought to bring matching sweaters for all the men was the kind of small detail that made it perfect. Let us talk about Isabelle Roloff for a moment because she is one of the unsung heroes of this reunion. Isabel is married to Jacob, the youngest Roloff son. She lives on the farm. She has been, since her marriage in 2019, one of the most warm and welcoming presences in the entire family. She does not have the public profile that some of her sisters-in-law have. She is not building an influencer brand like Audrey. She is not running a household with the visibility of Tori. She is just Isabel, the quiet, artistic writer married to Jacob, raising their son Mateo on the property where her husband grew up. And in 2025, Isabel emerged as the family member who, more than anyone else, was bringing the Roloffs back together. She had been the one posting updates that fans appreciated. She had been the one credited with helping Jacob heal from his childhood experiences. She had been the one keeping the farm running with Jacob as Matt spent more time elsewhere. And on Christmas Day, she was the one who organized the matching sweaters and the family photos. Fans noticed. A commenter on Instagram wrote that Isabel had a lot to do with bringing this family closer together. Isabel responded over a photo with the simple words, "Maybe a little. Thank you for noticing." That moment, captured in that exchange, was one of the most touching of the entire holiday season. The quiet daughter-in-law, who, by every visible measure, has done some of the most important relationship work in this family, is finally being seen for it. What does the Christmas reunion actually mean? That is the question fans have been asking since the video dropped on December 26th. There are a few possible interpretations. The first is the optimistic one, which says that the family is genuinely healing. The wounds of the farm fight are still there, but they are no longer raw. Matt is no longer engaged to Caryn, who many in the family believed was a destabilizing influence. The brothers have had time to process their anger and have decided that, whatever they think about their father's business decisions, they want their children to know their grandfather. The brothers have decided, in essence, that family is more important than property. And Matt, for his part, has shown up. He has prioritized his children and grandchildren. He has, by all visible signs, made the choice that he wants them back in his life more than he wants any other outcome. If this interpretation is correct, then the family is in the early stages of a real, sustainable healing. The Christmas reunion was not a one-time photo opportunity. It was a sign that the family will continue to gather, continue to find ways to be together, and continue to repair the broken places. That is the hopeful version. There is also a more skeptical interpretation. This one says that the Christmas reunion was in part a performance for social media, that the underlying tensions are still there, that Zach in particular has not fully reconciled with Matt, and that the photos do not tell the full story of what happened during that holiday gathering. That the family showed up because they thought it was the right thing to do for the grandchildren, but that the conversations behind the scenes were still complicated. That this is one step in a much longer journey, and it would be premature to declare the family healed based on a single Instagram post. That interpretation has some validity too. The wounds of the farm fight are real. The financial issues are still unresolved. The farm is still for sale. Zach and Matt have not, as far as we know, had any kind of sit-down reconciliation conversation. The Christmas reunion may have been a beginning, but it was certainly not an ending. The truth is probably somewhere between these two interpretations. The reunion was real. The smiles were real. The matching sweaters and the dinner and the time together were real. But the underlying tensions are real too. The Christmas reunion shows that the family has reached a point where they can share space and celebrate together. It does not show that they have fully resolved every conflict. Both things are true at once. And that is okay. Real family healing, as we have talked about in other videos on this channel, is rarely a linear process. It happens in fits and starts. It involves good days and bad days. It involves moments of progress and moments of setback. The Christmas 2025 reunion was a moment of progress. The next moment of progress will come, and the next setback after that. The Roloff family is on a journey, not at a destination. What does this mean for the future of the Roloff family on television? That is the speculative question. With Zach and Tori having officially left the show, with Jeremy and Audrey having been gone for years, with Jacob and Isabel keeping their lives private, the prospects for a season 26 of Little People Big World remain slim. But the Christmas reunion does open the door to other possibilities. A special, perhaps. A holiday episode. A behind-the-scenes look at how the family rebuilt their relationships in 2025. Matt Roloff has hinted in interviews that he would still be open to additional television work in some form. Whether TLC is interested and whether the rest of the family would participate are open questions. But the Christmas reunion at least demonstrated that the family could be together. They could share a meal. They could pose for photos. They could appear unified in a way that they had not appeared in years. From a production standpoint, the family is, theoretically, capable of being filmed together again. Whether they will be is a separate question. There is another aspect of this reunion that deserves attention, and it is the role of Caryn Chandler's absence. Several of the news outlets covering the Christmas reunion explicitly framed it as a post-Caryn moment. The unspoken implication was that Caryn had been the obstacle, and her departure had been the precondition for the family coming back together. That framing is not universally fair. Caryn was not solely responsible for the family rift. The farm sale decisions were Matt's, not hers. The financial terms were Matt's, not hers. The Christmas reunion in this framing becomes a kind of victory lap for the family at Caryn's expense, which is not entirely accurate. But there is something to the framing too. With Caryn no longer in the picture, certain family dynamics did become simpler. Amy could be at family events without navigating the awkwardness of Caryn's presence. The brothers could gather without feeling like they were endorsing the woman they had associated with their father's decisions. The reunion may not have been about Caryn, but the absence of Caryn made the reunion logistically and emotionally easier. There is one more piece of this that I want to highlight, and it is the Tori Roloff factor. Just a few weeks before Christmas, Tori had shared a rare photo of all 8 Roloff grandchildren together on a couch. Jackson, Lila, and Josiah, Ember, Bodie, Radley, and Mirabella, and little Mateo with his face appropriately obscured. 8 cousins in one frame for the first time in months. That photo, in many ways, set the stage for the broader family reunion. The next generation was clearly together. The next generation was clearly building relationships with each other. And the next generation became, as it so often is in family healing, the reason the adults had to figure out how to be together too. The grandchildren wanted to play with their cousins. The cousins wanted to play together. And the only way for that to happen was for the adults to put their differences aside and create space for the children to be a family. That is a powerful motivator. And it may have been one of the most important forces driving the 2025 reunion. Looking forward into 2026, the question is whether the Christmas reunion was a one-time event or the beginning of a new normal. The early signs suggest the latter. Audrey Roloff's March 2026 post about possibly purchasing Roloff Farms indicates that Jeremy and Audrey are open to deepening their connection with the family property in a way they were not just a year earlier. Matt has been more publicly present with his children in his recent posts. The brothers, while still maintaining their separate lives, are clearly back in regular communication. The grandchildren are clearly getting to spend time with each other. All of these are good signs. They suggest that 2026 will be a year of continued family rebuilding rather than a return to the tensions of 2024 and early 2025. Whether the rebuilding will be sustained, whether new conflicts will emerge, whether the Roloff family will stay healed or revert to old patterns is impossible to predict. But the trajectory as of the end of 2025 is moving in the right direction. For fans of Little People, Big World who have followed this family for almost 2 decades, the Christmas 2025 reunion was a genuine gift. It was a reminder that families can heal. It was a reminder that even when things look impossible, they can still get better. It was a reminder that the people we watched on television for years are real human beings, with real relationships, doing the real work of figuring out how to be a family. And it was a reminder that, in the end, the smallest gestures matter the most. Isabel buying matching sweaters, Matt showing up for Lila's soccer game, Amy posing for photos with her ex-husband and his sons. These are small things, but small things, accumulated over time, are what families are built on. And the Roloffs in 2025 did the small things. They showed up, they smiled, they sat on couches in matching sweaters, they posed for photos that Isabel posted on Instagram. They built, in those small moments, the foundation of a healed family. So I want to know what you think. Do you believe the Roloff Christmas reunion means the family feud is finally over for good? Or do you think there are still unresolved tensions that could resurface? Do you think Isabel deserves credit for being the unsung hero of the family healing? Or do you think other family members played bigger roles? And do you think we might see more group family appearances in 2026, including possibly a season 26 of LPBW? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and I love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to LPBW Update, and ring the bell so you do not miss our weekly Roloff family stories. We are committed to bringing you the truth, the timeline, and the heart of every member of this remarkable family. I will see you on the next one.